What's up, folks? Dane, Friday, ride and chat, drive and chat, whatever it is. Had a pretty eventful week. Had a car brought in on Saturday. It was not a car, it was an SUV. It was a Toyota TRD Pro 4Runner. Beautiful, beautiful ride. I had just coated it 6 months ago. Guy got into a wreck, and they finally got it out of the body shop. I got it in, got it all cleaned up. Started taking stuff apart to get it polished up because it's too early to coat. We still gotta let that paint cure a little bit, but I was at least gonna get it polished out, sealed, and ready to go. And we realized that the hood has 3 dents in it. It's misaligned. The bumper's not installed properly. It doesn't fit right. The upper grille doesn't fit right. The door on the driver's side that's got replaced has a crease in it that goes all the way down. The paint along the top leading edge is very splotchy. You can see the paint lines for the color coat on the hood. It was just a really bad job. Really bad job. So fast forward all the way to today, and me and my customer went to the body shop that did the work and said, hey, you know, I don't want you to take advantage of my customer here. He doesn't know exactly what he's looking for. And I sent him, you know, I showed him everything that I found on that vehicle that was wrong, and that was just a very small list of things that we found on it that were wrong. Bottom line of the story is the body shop said, hey, you know what, you're right, we fucked this thing up, we didn't do it right, give me a chance to make it right. And we threw the little caveat in there of, we're going to give you a chance to do it right. I'm going to inspect it before he accepts it again, and if it's not up to par, then you're going to pay for the guy that I like to use to go fix it. And he agreed to that. So, you know, one, I'm not trying to beat up a local small business, because that's what this guy is. He's trying to make it right, and we're going to give him that opportunity to make it right. But, you know, so that was kind of fun and eventful for the week. It kind of blew up my weekend last weekend, because I was really looking forward to getting this Toyota back to mint shape, and I wasn't able to. Felt kind of disappointed all weekend about it. And then other than that, I got a couple dealership cars to work on. The dealership thing is actually starting to pick up. Next week, I've actually got a guy that's going to come out there and start helping me with them so that we can bang out more a day. I did get the greatest compliment I've ever gotten on one of their vehicles. It had been sitting on their lot for too long, and they were tired of looking at it. And they wanted it to move. So he handed it to me and he said, hey, and that's exactly what he told me was, this has been on my lot for too long. I need it gone. Do what you got to do. So with the amount of money that they gave me, I did what I had to do. Bitch sold the next morning. I like that. So far, my record stands at every vehicle that I touch of theirs moves within 2 days. It's pretty good. I'm pretty happy with that. They did give me a Ford flatbed 350 to work on, and if you have a Ford, the Super Duties, the works truck style, and they have the rubber floor mats or the rubber floorboards, there's a hole in the back over on the passenger side. That's just how they come. There's a little hole right there, but the big around. And I noticed when I was looking at the vehicle to inspect it that the hole, the color in the hole should be the same color as the panel, as the vehicle. It should have been white, and it wasn't. It was brown. So I realized right off the bat, this bitch is dirty, like really dirty. And then as I'm cleaning it, as I got closer to it, there's a plant growing out of the hole. It was about 2 inches tall, a little plant growing out of it. And then there was mold in between the seats. So not only was that part fun to get rid of, and they paid me for it. They did the right thing. He manned up and he paid for it. He didn't know that was there. I got pictures of it so he could see it. And he said, yeah, you're right. You know, this was a little worse than we thought. But so this is where the chemistry geek comes out in your detailer. The floorboards, the rubber floorboards on those, the flooring, it was an old concrete truck. And whatever the concrete guys were using stained the rubber to the point it would not come out. You could hit it with degreaser, you could hit it with all-purpose cleaner, you could hit it with whatever you wanted, and it was not coming out. And then my chemistry geek kicked in and realized that the what that was on the floors was not a lot different than brake dust when you break it down. It was pretty similar. So I said, well, let's try this. And I grabbed some Meguiar's acid wheel cleaner, and I found me a test spot way up underneath the floorboard and the passenger side, way up underneath there on the rubber, and it was a pretty good spot. And I said, well, let me see if this works. Tried it, boom, pulled it right out. So ended up getting all the floors cleaned up like that, and it worked beautifully. They turned black again, able to treat them, keep them black. So, you know, it just goes to show that being a chemistry geek and a detailer works when you can start realizing what things are. That's really all a good detailer is. It's just a big chemistry geek and usually a math geek too. And we're just have really bad OCD problems. So, other than that, it was a great week. I got my plane ticket to fly down and see Trey graduate. That's going to be amazing. Go down to Texas and hang out with him for a couple days. Watch him graduate with honors. Top of his class. Love it. So proud of that boy. So I'm super fucking excited about going down there and seeing him. Other than that, it was a great week. I went and looked at a beautiful, fucking beautiful MR2 on Wednesday that the guy has completely restored to the point that the clear coat was applied to both sides of every panel. And he used to do this stuff. He thought he was still pretty good at it, and it turned out he wasn't as good at it as he thought he was anymore. His hand's not as steady as it was. His eyes aren't as good as they were. So basically he tried wet sanding a bunch of stuff and then buffing it out, and it didn't work. So he created a bigger problem. Measured the paint. There's enough paint on there to keep doing some work on it. So I'm going to go out there tomorrow and fix his hood, the headlight covers, the bumper, the roof, and the deck lid, not the engine lid. There's two lids on that car on the back. Get that all cleaned up for him, and then once he's done with that, he's got a couple other things he's got to do to the car, and then we're going to finish polishing out the rest of it, and then we're going to coat it. And then after that, dude's got a sick Miata. It's just, oh my God, it's beautiful. I would never say that about a Miata, but this one is. And then he's got a 94 Cobra that we're going to do after that. So a lot of restoration work with this guy. It's going to be a lot of fun. So a lot of little tedious tiny work, but they're all garage queens, so they're going to make life a lot nicer for maintenance and everything like that. But other than that, been a great fucking week pulling in the driveway. Y'all got anything you want to talk about? Anything you want to know? Anything you want to discuss? Let me know. Other than that, remember why we have Memorial Day. Remember that. If you can tell somebody that was in the service, Happy Memorial Day, you're telling the wrong person. This is Thane, Suns Detail. I love you.